Ron. Look, first of all, congratulations on the manned space flight out of Kennedy Space Center to the International Space Center. And every time I turn around, you're sending a rocket to Mars, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of good capability happening at NASA these days. Tell us about one project that you're working on using this big data to sort of, make it happen, if you will, over there at NASA.
So yeah, it really is an exciting time to be here, Luke. We have missions being launched, it seems, every week down at Kennedy. We have a couple Falcon 9s going up later this month, and a Starlink Falcon 9 going up, and next year we have the Webb telescope launching. So these are really big programs for exploration going up, and we haven't missed a beat. So what we're doing, much like what we heard from Tom about earlier, is putting up a visualization layer for our data, and we're calling that initiative the Executive Decision Lens. And what we noted is early on in the COVID crisis, our medical community was spending a lot of time on contact tracing and really getting sort of the lay of the land. So we got a group together and worked across multiple domains at NASA. We had HR involved, and the HR folks were actually the product owner of this Executive Decision Lens. And that worked well in an agile environment. It allowed us to come together and be there to bring data to answer questions about our profile. What is our profile for each of our centers? How are the cases looking? And before we stood that up, Luke, it was I think the chief medical officer was spending all day Friday gathering local data up, putting it in a spreadsheet, and trying to come up with some normalization across the geographic areas for decisions about, what is our posture? When do we want to make sure our employees are really protected? So we quickly saw the need and stood up, exactly. And Tom, I just want to foot stomp a lot of what you said, a way to get in disparate data sets and put in APIs in the cloud that's very agile. You don't need a lot of the the ATOs setting up disparate systems for this. So we saved a lot of time in the medical community. We actually stood up a contact tracing app that was based on what a lot of the state and local communities were doing at the time, and we have that capability. I think we are one of the first agencies that has a contact tracing app, to my knowledge, and working across the federal community. We were able to normalize data, use data definitions that were standardized, so we were all looking at the same posture the same way. Because, Luke, as you know, a lot of these locations where we have our federal workforce are co-located. We have the DoD in many of our sites, for example. So we, if we didn't have that normalization done and looking at these definitions across, we would be reporting different things. And, people are smart. They talk to one another, even though they're in separate agencies, and they say, hey, your agency's saying this, this agency's saying something completely different. So this allowed us to really work together as a one community. And what we're doing with the Executive Decision Lens is make it scalable. So we're putting in the groundwork to make it scalable for other data sources as well. So, it is just a fantastic effort at coming together and making our people safe in this uncertain times is very important.